Hi guys, Martin the Aviator here. We're still on our annual seaplane trip. We're located in Orinjärka, and today you will follow me when I test fly a helicopter. This bad boy, Bell 206 Long, known as the Long Ranger. Here we have a Bell 206 Long. It's called a Long Ranger. It has a two-bladed propeller, it's a turbine engine. This is IFR equipped. You have two people in the front, and you sit 4 people in the back. It is extremely nice. So here in the back, sit like this. So nice inside. It's a great way to travel here in the northern parts because you can land anywhere. And when you have a two-bladed helicopter, it's so nice to tuck away at night. This one you can just pull into a garage. It's really, narrow, so it fits almost everywhere. Instead, if you have a three-bladed helicopter, it's a big difference. These are instead of flying into a power line or something, it's like a scissor that will cut the power line so it doesn't break the helicopter. It's quite cool actually. This is a great day. You know why? Because I have great friends, and great friends is what it's all about. And in the aviation industry and community, we're trying to help each other. And one of the things that we're going to do today is going to meet my good friend Johan. He is the owner of the Bell 206. Hi! This is Johan. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a private pilot. Started flying 20 years ago, so I've just passed 2,300 hours. I have about 300 hours on helicopters and also almost 300 hours on seaplanes. So bush flying, kind of flying, off airport flying. So I've flown helicopters for 6 years, and I've been a helicopter owner for 4 years.
Yeah.
Had a Jet Ranger and now a Long Ranger.
So here we are with your beautiful Long Ranger. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's a 1980 Bell 206 L1. It's a low hour machine. It's 6,560 hours right now. It has a Allison C28 engine, 500 shaft horsepower. And the maximum output on the main rotor is 435 horsepower. Takeoff 5 minutes, and then it's 370 horsepower. And it's quite unique since it's IFR certified since new, and they've just started producing IFR Bell 407 single engine IFR helicopters again. But from this generation, there's only a few in Europe. Some more in the United States, which means it has autopilot and associated instruments. So it's still current to fly instruments, and I will take my instrument rating with it. So this is the kind of Long Ranger that you generally see. They're usually L1, L3 or L4, and there's a kit with helicopter standards within reason to upgrade it to a L1 Plus, which makes it equivalent to the L4, which has 495 horsepower on the output. And what's interesting also to say is that when Bell wanted to revive the Jet Ranger in a more modern version, they used the drivetrain, the rotor system, gearboxes, everything from the Long Ranger. So what you see here was produced up until 2017, and then they kept production in the form of the 505 with a new fuselage but with a similar or same drivetrain.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that is a lot of technical stuff. If I'm just a normal person who wants to take a ride in a helicopter, and the helicopter charter company tells us that they're going to fly in a Bell 206 Long Ranger, would they be happy or sad for about that?
I think they would be happy. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
You can have a conversation back there if you're 6 on board, 5 or 6. Then you have this club seating.
Can we look inside?
Yeah, sure. I'm flying in the bush right now, so there's a lot of stuff.
Of course. Ah, you can have a children's seat as well, eh?
Yeah, I fly with my family. I have 3 kids and my wife.
So when you go on, not in the bush, if you go on a shopping spree with this beautiful helicopter, where do you put all the shopping bags?
Yeah, it's back here. Also bush kind of stuff right now, but it takes 110 kilos and it's very spacious, and you have this extender here which allows for golf clubs and things like that, so it extends back here.
Wonderful.
So it's pretty big, and it's not the same price point as the Airbus Squirrel or H125, but I think the baggage compartment is pretty large on this one.
Yeah.
And also compared to the 407s, which has the same one, but usually they need an auxiliary fuel tanks that takes a lot of baggage. So it's a great combination. And as a passenger, what is special with the Long Rangers is that they're very quiet, very comfortable to ride in, because they have a suspension up here that is suspending the whole drivetrain. So the drivetrain is suspended, so the vibrations are evened out automatically through this axle here. So it's a very, very smooth ride. Smoother than the Squirrels and 407s,
yeah.
I say. This is also special for the Long Ranger, is that it has a elevator.
Yeah.
You have it on quite a few helicopters. Actually, the Bell 47 has a movable tail, but this is connected to the swash plate and the cyclic control. So this will follow the stick. So when you pull it back, this one goes up. So the fuselage follows more the.
That's a big difference from the 44, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. And this big fin here.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a little bit larger, maybe the same as the Jet Trainer, I'm not sure. But what is additional on the Long Ranger is the end plates on the horizontal stabilizer. Yeah. And what's interesting to note about them is that they're directed the other way compared to the vertical stabilizer.
Okay.
So kind of tensions up the helicopter. So they're pointed for a right turn, and this fin is for left.
Okay, and that together, left and right, means straight.
Yeah. So
wonderful.
It's a conventional tail rotor system with a delta hinge, just very much like the R44, and which is interesting to note about the once again compared to a R44, which is another category of aircraft, but still is that on the 44 the blades are one of the most important and and one of the things that you really want to check on your daily inspection.
Yeah. On
a Bell 206, Long Ranger or 505, the blades are one of the least
things you need to consider, huh?
Yeah, because they're no problem. They're one of the most durable parts of the helicopter. So in particular, I pay more attention to the tail rotor blades than the main rotor blades, since they're more exposed and a little bit more sensitive in general.
Wonderful. And you have this on the skids here. You have these plates. What do you call them?
Yeah, they're called the beer paws.
Yeah.
Like the paws of the beer.
Yeah.
And it's for distributing, having a more even distribution of the weight and the area, the surface area, when you're landing on soft surfaces like marshes, or especially in particular snow. Similar. And then this is it's the high and long skids. So I have pop-out floats available for them. It's a 56 kilo installation with a tube, so we can inflate them.
It's perfect when you're flying in the archipelago and stuff like
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, wonderful. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful helicopter. As you can see inside, it's very, very, very nice to sit here. And also up front, here, you have a dual control system, so you can fly it from both the left and right seat. So I will fly from the left seat today, and Johan will be with me on the right seat. And I'll do my absolutely best to take care of this beautiful machine. Okay, Johan, you will do your daily inspection. I will get inside and get a little bit familiar with everything.
Yeah, sure.
And let's do this.
Yeah, great.
Great. Yeah, I've been trying the jet trainer as a passenger, not as a pilot, and it is like the Robinson 44. It's a little bit vibracious and noisy, but I only heard good things about the Long Ranger. That is much nicer and calmer.
Yeah. It is.
So hopefully I get to see that in a little while. Since I've only been flying Robinsons before, and now you're gonna let me try this beautiful helicopter. What would you think? What is your advice to me?
You have to be smoother than a Robinson on the collective.
Yeah.
Because the turbine it's a free turbine, so it needs a little bit more time to adjust, and it's a mechanical fuel governor. So when the RPM droops, you don't notice it, but it needs some time to add fuel and get the free turbine spinning up, so you don't get a droop in the RPM. With the R44, it's electronical and it's a piston. It's just instantaneous.
Yeah.
You can just pull it
Yeah.
and it just goes and hardly have a droop. Here you would have a significant droop if you just pull it.
Yeah.
So you don't do that. So you do it smooth.
So I should be calm and smooth.
Yeah.
Anything else I should think about? What about?
I think the biggest difference also is the anti-torque system, the tail rotor system.
Yeah.
That you will notice you need more pedal travel.
Yeah.
It's the R44 once again. It's more ninja.
Yeah.
In that sense, you only small inputs. Here you're going to notice when you need a lot of power, you have a lot of pedal.
Yeah.
And when you're off power out flying, you will need a lot of pedal the other way. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah. Okay. And what about speeds? Approach
best
speeds.
climb rate is 54 knots, so it's a little bit slower than the 44. It has a little bit more benign auto-rotational characteristics since of the high inertia rotor system. And we usually climb out, in the cruise climb is about 80 knots, and then the cruise is about 100 to 110 knots, a little bit more if it's really light and you're pushing it. And the normal cruise setting, which is individual for each pilot, but I'd say about 80% torque, maximum continuous is 85.
Okay, great. And on the approach?
I use about 60 knots.
Yeah.
60 knots, and they produce this Huey Vietnam, just like the Robinson, but more blade slap when the one blade crosses the vortex of the previous one.
Yeah.
So you either want to be cruising, climbing, or descending fairly fast.
Yeah.
For being a little bit more neighborhood friendly.
Otherwise you have this characteristic woof, 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 woof sound, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know that. The neighbors doesn't like. It's quite high, the rotor system on this one. You can see that everything is above the passengers. You have the engine quite high as well. How is it for tipping and stuff like that?
It's compared to the 44. It's more sensitive for dynamic rollover, but it's much less sensitive than the Jet Ranger, which I think is not bad, but it has a high CG.
Yeah.
This one is much wider on the skids than the jet reindeer. I think it's 25 centimeters or 30. So it feels quite planted. So up to, I don't remember the particular number, how many degrees it can slope.
No.
But it's pretty much. So I'm not that worried with this one. With the jet reindeer it was worse, especially when you land in deep snow.
Yeah.
It kind of wants to settle in. So you don't have this tipping over sensation. I've never come close to it in this one. So
Great. And when I look at these, you have fins. It's like a wing, and it reminds me of a Fowler flap, more or less, since I'm the airplane pilot. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, when the helicopter is in cruise flight, especially, and transitioning into cruise flight, you're gonna have the power is coming from the rotor, obviously, and all of the rest is hanging more or less below. So it's gonna pull the aircraft backwards and nose down. So you want these ones to keep the fuselage more stable.
So it's
more
like
level.
It's like an elevator.
Yes. So this one pushes the tail down and the nose up.
Yes, just like the elevator. Huh?
Yeah, and you can notice if it's very forward CG, if you do heavy guys up front and nothing else, it's going to be slower than if you're one guy up front and a little bit of baggage in the back or a passenger in the back. It's more level, it's more streamlined.
It's like the small aircraft, it's just the same, huh? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take it for a spin. You have the control here, you have the collector here. The left collector changes the blade's angle to go up and down, and this is how you move the disc, the rotor disc, back and forward, so you get the helicopter to turn different ways. And you have the feet. These are the ones that changes the tailor rotor, so we can move around and around as well. This is IFR equipped to have a lot of instruments on it, but when it comes to a turbine, there are a few things that's really important. That is how many RPMs you have. The torque is not too much, but on startup you always look at the turbine and temperature. These are important things. And of course you have the oil as well. But when you get moving, you go over to the rotor, so you see the percentage of the RPM where it should be. And you see these intervals here in the middle, that's where it should be, in the green sector. Well, I'm sure Johan will tell us much more about it. The seating position is very upright. You have a very good vision. And all the controls, I'm 1 meter and 90 centimeters long, so I'm a tall guy, but still I'm sitting quite well. It's a little bit close here to the height. See if when I put the headsets on. Yeah, it's a little bit, I have to skip down a bit, but it's okay. Feels quite nice here actually.
I always use the checklist, more or less. Rarely by heart, just sometimes. So pedals adjust and centered, seat belts fast and adjust.
Check left side.
Loose objects and equipment.
Check.
That's check. Loading check. Crew papers. Aircraft log checked. Doors.
Så jävla roligt.
Ja.
Va?
Du har kört long ranger.
Ja. På riktigt faktiskt.
Ja.
I fjällvärlden och landa på en kam och grejer.
Exakt. Ja.
Jag har aldrig gjort med 44 heller innan.
Nej. Det var kul.
Jävligt
Jag
duktigt.
gör ju inte heller sånt varje dag.
Okay guys, it was amazing. We had an experience that I never had before. Well, several of them actually. I got to fly a Bell 206 Long Ranger, which is an amazing helicopter. The first expression I can say is calm. It feels so nice and calm when you fly it. It's the rotor system is totally different. I've been in Jet Rangers before, and it's not the same. This Long Ranger was very, very nice to fly. And we landed, as you saw, on a ridge. It was my first mountain ridge landing, and the departure from that was spectacular.
Yeah.
The Long Ranger. What a ride! This year's trip is just getting better and better. Tonight we'll have a lot of things to talk about around the campfire. The next episode we will fly to an amazing place called Sulitelma. An amazing part of Sweden. We will do some glacier bathing. See you soon. Bye.